What's up, folks? The Sportsbook Killa, UFC 305. Here it comes. But let me first of all give you guys a quick briefing of what happened last week at UFC Vegas 95. It was a decent card. I mean, it wasn't the best, but I posted 4 parlays up, and I was 2 for 2 on them. I would have been 75%. I was only 50% accurate with them. I would have been 75% if it wasn't for Spivak. Spivak decided to get an armbar early. The fight didn't make it to the second round, but that would have put me at 3-1, and I would have had a 75% accuracy. So I did only hit 50% on my parlays. However, my strong prop bets, I was 80%. I only got 1 wrong out of 5, and my strong bets, I was at 75% accurate. The only one I got wrong was Mr. Carl Williams, who chose not to wrestle until 2 minutes left in the fight. I thought that was absolutely absurd. I'll be very, very cautious betting on him again because I don't know if he's going to wrestle or play boxing again like he did. I bet on him because of his wrestling credentials, but for some odd reason he didn't want to use them. But it was a phenomenal, wasn't the best, but it was a really, really good payday for a lot of us who took those bets, especially the Spivak fight. Spivak was at minus 148, and for him to get rid of Tibura like he did was absolutely incredible. And that, I'm sure that hit a lot of people's parlays well, very well. You get him at minus 148, add a couple of more picks to it and hit those, and you got paid off pretty nice. So congrats to y'all if y'all took that. Let's get to UFC 305 because we got some really good bets on this one and some really good fights on this one. So we're going to start with the main event. We got the middleweights. Dricus du Plessis going up against Israel Adesanya. Oh, man, this is going to be interesting. These guys, there's some bad blood between them. Let me give y'all the ballistics on them. Dricus du Plessis is 6'1", has a 76-inch reach. He's from South Africa. He's a kickboxing second-degree black belt. He has KO power. The guy can wrestle. And he has some very strong, and he's very versatile with his kicks. Very strong kicks, and he can kick from different angles. He goes with the leg kicks, the body kicks. He's good. And he has really good cardio. Looks like he doesn't because he looks like he's breathing out his mouth a lot. But no, that guy has really good cardio. He went 5 rounds with Sean Strickland. He was fine. You know, he got a little tired because he does a lot of wrestling. But other than that, his cardio is pretty on point. He can wrestle the whole 5 rounds too. So Israel Adesanya, we know he's 6'4". He got an 80-inch reach. He's tall, really skinny, really lanky. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, though he doesn't grapple much. He mostly relies on his kickboxing and striking. He has really good kickboxing, though. He has great kickboxing. He switches stances often. He knows the game. He's kickboxed professionally, and he knows how to fight in the UFC. He has a few slick moves on the ground, but I don't think we have to worry too much about him doing a lot of good groundwork. And Adesanya is a hard puncher. He's a hard puncher, and he strikes from all angles. He throws kicks from all angles, punches from different angles. He's good, and he has phenomenal cardio as well. This is a really close fight. Right now, I'm going to go with Dricus du Plessis. I am. And the reason why I'm going with du Plessis is because he's going to have the harder punches, and he's also got the wrestling. I love fighters that have their wrestling element to their game because if they can get just a few takedowns, 2 or 3 in separate rounds, they can win the round based on that. And I think if du Plessis gets Adesanya down, it's going to be really hard for Adesanya to get back up. Du Plessis is a thick human being. That guy is thick. He's big. He's muscular. And like I said, he has good cardio. He can wrestle for a good little while. Now, I can see Adesanya winning some rounds. So I think the fight will be close. I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop. I'm going to take the over 2.5 round prop. And I'm going to take the over 3.5 round prop because I can see this fight going the distance. But I got to lean du Plessis in this one because, like I said, he's going to be the harder puncher. He's a good striker as well. And Lord knows if Adesanya comes and fights like he fought Sean Strickland, du Plessis is going to walk all over him. So I'm hoping he comes a little better than that. But I don't think he can. I think he fights the way he fights. And I think once du Plessis lands a hard punch on him, he may start to, reminisce on what happened to him when Sean Strickland caught him. So Sean Strickland knocked him down. He got back up and survived and went the distance with him. But It seemed like he just wasn't the same after that punch, and Duplessis hits harder than Sean Strickland. So Duplessis is the pick, over 1.5 rounds, over 2.5 rounds, and over 3.5 rounds. Next fight, we got the flyweight division. Kai Kara France going up against Steve Erceg. Now, here's the thing. I like Steve Astro Boy Erceg. Like the guy. This guy has a good ground game. He boxes well. He has a very strong chin because he gets hit hard and he just hangs in there. He doesn't have the best takedowns. And Kai Kara France is really hard to take down anyway. But Steve Erceg is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And Kai Kara France is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt. So if the fight did go to the ground, Steve Erceg more than likely would just demolish him. But I can't see this fight really getting to the ground because I don't think Erceg has the takedowns that he's going to need to get Kai Kara France to the ground. But I'm going to lean Steve Erceg to win this, though. Yeah, I'm going to lean Steve Erceg to win this one. He's at minus 230, meaning you got to give up basically 2-1 odds to take him, a little more than 2-1 odds to take Steve Erceg. But I'm going to take Steve Erceg with this one, and I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop, and I'm going to take the over 2.5 round prop. I can see this fight lasting a little while. So I'll take that and Steve Erceg to win. Next fight, we got the lightweights. Matias Gam Rod going up against Dan, the Hangman Hooker. This one, it's hard to bet against Matias Gam Rod. This guy is good. His wrestling is good, real good. And he can wrestle for 3 straight rounds. He has the cardio to do so. He does it all the time. I'm going with Matias Gam Rod, and this is one of my stronger picks. No question. I like Gam Rod in this fight. Dan Hooker's tall, lanky. He's a 6-footer, so he's tall, lanky. He has great kickboxing. He has decent cardio. But the problem with Dan Hooker is once Gam Rod starts to wrestle him and stay on top of him, I think he'll fatigue, and I think that he'll probably just give up. I really do. I'm going to go with Gam Rod to win this one. I'm going to take a prop bet that the fight will start the second round, and I'm going to sprinkle a little something on the over 1.5 round prop as well. But I definitely got Gam Rod in this one. There's no way I'm taking Dan Hooker. Next fight, we got the heavyweights, and y'all are in for a banger. A banger, let me tell you. Tai Tuivasa going up against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Oh, boy. Both of these guys have KO power. Tai Tuivasa has some powerful leg and body kicks, though. His ground game is garbage. He's on a 4-fight losing streak, no question. But he likes to bang. He likes to stand and bang. Some of those losses are because he got taken down. He just doesn't have much on the ground. He got a few little moves, but he's not a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy, that's for sure. Rozenstruik isn't either. He has weak takedown defense. He has a weak ground game. So I don't expect this fight to even go to the ground at all. I expect these guys to just bang. Now, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, he is a very good kickboxer, though. He is. So Tai Tuivasa can't just get in there and I don't think just outbox him. He's going to have to make it dirty and just bust him up. And I'm leaning Tai Tuivasa on this one for sure. Now, here is what I'm going to do with the prop bets. I'm going to take the over 0.5 round prop, but then I'm also going to take the under 2.5 round prop. I see a knockout, but I don't mind sweating to hope that they get past the first 2.5 minutes of the fight. But Tai Tuivasa is going to be my pick on this one, okay? And like I said, over 0.5 rounds, that means the fight just got to make it past the 2.30 second mark on the first round, and then the under 2.5 rounds. So I got both of those props on that one. Next fight, we got the men's welterweight division. Li Jingliang going up against Carlos Pradas. No way I'm betting against Carlos Pradas. Carlos Pradas, this dude is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, hard, versatile striker, has KO power, great boxing, and good cardio. He's on a 9-fight win streak. This guy's just beating everybody up. Li Jingliang is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt as well. He has strong leg kicks. He's a power puncher. He can hit. Yeah, he can hit, and he has good kickboxing. His ground game's rather weak, though. I just don't see him beating Carlos Pradas. You watch these guys strike. Li Jingliang, he's okay, but I don't see him beating Pradas. Pradas is just, highlight reel KOs. He's putting these guys out. So I'm going to take Carlos Pradas for this one, and I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. Next fight, we got the men's heavyweight division. Junior Tafa going up against Walter Walker. This is a very interesting fight, y'all. This is very interesting. Junior Tafa is a really good kickboxer. Really good. Has KO power. And he's a very hard, versatile striker. However, he has a very weak ground game, weak takedown defense. Walter Walker has weak boxing, weak ground game. The only good thing about Walter Walker, I tell you, is his takedowns. He tends to get these guys down when he wants them down. He's a big 6'6", all muscle bound guy. He's a big dude. So he grabs these guys and pulls them to the ground, and he gets it down there. He doesn't have much stamina. Let me first of all tell y'all, he's Johnny Walker's brother. You know, Johnny Walker's little brother, rather. But he's a big dude. And he fights like a Johnny Walker with less cardio, kind of. You know, he doesn't have much striking. He's not that good striking. But like I said, he can grab you, take you to the ground, and just lay on you for a while. Because once he gets you down, he got to catch his breath. He doesn't have the best cardio now. So I'm going to lean Junior Tafa in this one. I am. I'm hoping Junior Tafa can get this fight standing and keep it standing long enough to land a good power combination and knock this guy out. If he doesn't, oh well. But I'm going to take my chances, and I'm going to sprinkle a little something on the under 2.5 round prop as well. Just in case we get a KO. You know, I could see Wout Walker laying on top of Tafa for 3 rounds. I could see that happening, and that's part of the risk that I'll take. But I will definitely take the under 2.5 round prop in this one just to see if Tafa can get that KO. Now, next fight. We got the men's featherweight division. Josh Culiba going up against Ricardo Hamos. This is going to be an interesting fight. Both of these guys are pretty good, but I got to go with Josh Culiba. He is a fast striker, very fast hands, good takedown defense. He doesn't take down well. They got weak takedowns, but he is a hard puncher, and he got some fast hands. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. I like his boxing. He's a really good striker, y'all. Really good. Ricardo Hamos, former BJJ champ, he's good on the ground. Very good on the ground, but his boxing's horrible. Well, I won't say horrible. His boxing is weaker than Culiba's is. Culiba has the better striking, in my opinion. Ricardo Hamos, every time I bet on this guy, he gets caught in some kind of guillotine choke. And being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, it's just strange that he can never get out of it. Every time I see this guy getting tapped, at least twice I bet on this guy, and he's been tapped out. So I'm through. I got to go with Culiba on this one. Got to. I'm going with Josh Culiba to win this one because Josh Culiba has really good takedown defense, and it's going to be hard for Hamos if he starts losing the striking to just take the fight to the ground. It's not going to be as simple as that. Culiba has good takedown defense. I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight will start the 2nd round and that the fight will start the 3rd round. Next fight. We got the women's flyweight division. Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. Luana Santos, she has her last fight. She really won me over. She can fight. She can fight. She's shown a side of me that I wasn't seeing. You know, I kept seeing holes in her game, but she's looking like she's tightening up some of those holes. Casey O'Neill has weak boxing and a weak ground game. And she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, but her boxing is weak. Ground game's weak. She does have a strong chin, so she can take a beating. So Luana Santos is a judo black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, very hard puncher, and she has really good grappling. If you get anywhere near those hips, she will judo throw you and take you down. She's not the best on the ground, but she can constantly take you down with those throws. And I'm looking to take Luana Santos in this one just because I've seen Casey O'Neill fight, and she's horrible. I'm going with Luana Santos all the way. I'm going to also take the prop bet that the fight will start the 2nd round and that the fight will start the 3rd round in this one. And Luana Santos is currently on a 5-fight win streak, so I'm hoping she can keep this streak alive and get me this win. Next fight, we got the men's featherweight division. Jack Jenkins going up against Herbert Burns. Jack Jenkins, he switches stances really quick. He's a pressure fighter. He just keeps coming. He has good boxing. He has a very strong chin, and he's a versatile striker. He kicks, punches, he does everything. Herbert Burns. Let's get with Burns, brother. And let me tell you something about this guy. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's a 4-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. This guy is good on the ground, but his striking's weak. But I tell you something about this guy. He has really fast submissions, really fast. So here's the caveat to betting on Herbert Burns, if you decide to. He has roughly 4 to 5 minutes of cardio. After that, all of his jiu-jitsu skills go out completely out the window. He forgets how to fight. He got nothing. All he wants is out. After 4 minutes, if he hasn't gotten a submission, he wants out. And Jack Jenkins is a tough dude. He's tough to take down. He's tough to keep down. And he's hard to strike with. I'm going to go with Jack Jenkins for this one. I don't like having to give up 5-1, though. He's about 5.5-1 right now, Jack Jenkins. So if you decide to take him, you better take him early, because by fight time, that might change. He might be 7 or 8-1. Who knows? But I'm going to take Jack Jenkins, and I'm going to also take the under 2.5 round prop. And the reason for that is because of Herbert Burns' cardio. If he gets a quick submission, then okay, I still win my under bet on a separate parlay. But if he runs out of gas after 4 minutes, Jack Jenkins gets the stoppage, and either way the fight goes under. So I'm taking Jack Jenkins, and under 2.5 rounds. Next fight, we got the men's lightweight division. Tom Nolan going up against Alex Reyes. Alex Reyes is terrible, y'all. He's terrible. That dude, I watch him fight. He has weak boxing. He has a weak chin. And they put him in there with Tom Nolan. And Tom Nolan is a hard striker with really good takedown defense, and he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. So if the fight goes anywhere near the ground, I like Tom Nolan's chances there. But he's a minus 1,000 favorite. Can't make no money really putting him in a parlay. Let's just be real. Even though you might be so absolutely sure he's going to win, your best shot at Tom Nolan is decreasing the odds by probably betting on a KO or some sort of stoppage. You know, that's about the best thing I could say to take Tom Nolan. I'm also going to take the over 0.5 round prop. I'm going to bet that maybe Alex Reyes can last the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the fight. That's all I need. Then after that, I'm taking the under 2.5 round prop, and I'm also taking the under 1.5 round prop. So if Tom Nolan gets it over with in the first round, then the under. I can hit both unders. If Tom Nolan gets it over with in the first 2 minutes, I lose the over bet, but I hit the 2 under bets. So that's the way I'm doing it. I'm just going to sweat a little bit, hoping Alex Reyes can last past 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That way I can hit all 3 bets. But Tom Nolan is the pick if you can find a way to get him in your parlay. The only way I will put him in a parlay is probably to maybe bet the spread, you know, where you can bet the minus 3.5 spread. That way you win even if it's a stoppage, and the odds are a little, you might be able to get them for a lot less than minus 1,000. That's for sure. So I'm taking Tom Nolan to win over 0.5 rounds, under 2.5 rounds, and under 1.5 rounds on this one. Next fight, we got the men's welterweight division. Song Kinong going up against Ricky Glenn. Ricky Glenn, he's just coming off of 2 KO losses in a row. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He did fight to a draw with Grant Dawson, but Grant Dawson was dominating him in that fight. Grant Dawson just wrestled himself out of gas, and Ricky Glenn got him in a Darce choke towards the end and almost won the fight, actually, but that wasn't striking. That was just all pure grappling, that fight. Ricky Glenn fights out of the southpaw stance. His ground game is weak except for that little exchange in the 3rd round of the Dawson fight. That's the only time I've ever seen his ground game look strong. Other than that, takedowns weak, doesn't have much on the ground. And he's just suffered 2 KO losses straight, and they put him in there with a guy with KO power like Song Kinong. And let me give you some ballistics on Song Kinong. This is the guy that dropped Ian Gary. Dropped him and almost finished him when they fought. So, and Kinong trains at Team Alpha Male. He's a really good boxer, and he has really good cardio. I'm taking Song Kinong all the way. And I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round. So Song Kinong to win, and fight starts the 2nd round prop. Next fight, we got the men's flyweight division. Stuart Nickel going up against Jesus Aguilar. And, you know, I've been liking Jesus Aguilar, to be honest with you. The guy's good. The guy's really good. He has a sick guillotine choke. I mean, if he gets you in that thing, good luck getting out of it. But one guy that did escape his guillotine was Tatsuro Taira. That guy got out of his guillotine. So, but most other guys cannot escape his guillotine choke. They just can't do it. So I gotta go with Stuart Nickel on this one because in Australia, he's the man. He's beaten the flyweights over there, and they were just waiting on the call from the UFC because he's just been destroying the guys he's been fighting, getting them out of there in the first round. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He has very good leg kicks, very good takedowns. He has a really good ground game. Jesus Aguilar is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. He has good takedowns as well. He's a very hard puncher, and he has really good cardio. This is going to be a tough one. I don't like to bet real heavy on the guy when it's his UFC debut unless he's really explosive. Stuart Nickel is good, really good, but not that good. I'm not going to say I would bet a whole lot on it in his UFC debut. So, because I don't know what his cardio is going to be like when he gets in there with an actual UFC fighter. So, I'm going to take Stuart Nickel, but I'm not going to go heavy on him. And I'm going to take the under 2.5 round prop just in case either one of these guys gets a submission early. And that's pretty much it for this fight card. Try to keep your parlays to 2 and 3 picks, first. And then if you got a little money left over, start doing those miracle parlays or those, longer parlays if that's your thing. But the main thing, make sure you got some consistent money coming in with those 2-pick parlays, with those 3-pick parlays, and betting straight up on a fighter ain't bad either. If you can get a 50 or 60% return on that, that's not bad either, y'all. So just make sure you got some cash flow coming off of these bets and these parlays. Make sure you got them 2 and 3 pick ones paying you good, and then go on and start shooting a little bit of money at those wild parlays that may come through and pay you super heavy. You just don't know, especially when you mix them with these over-unders. Good luck this Saturday, folks. I hope y'all hit well.